We interrupt with an 11 breaking news alert. We just learned there is a verdict in the trial for Letitia Stauch.
That's right. The judge is going to read the verdict any minute. Everyone was called back to the courtroom about 45 minutes ago. This is a decision 3 years in the making. She's accused of murdering her stepson, Gannon, in 2020. Let's take a live look inside the courtroom right now.
Now, we just heard the judge speaking to the crowd there and telling everyone in the galley to, mind their emotions during this. When this verdict will be read in just a few moments, he warns everyone, try and stay calm and quiet while they deliver the verdict. Now, we do have a reporter in the courtroom. She told us they had to make an overflow room because there are so many people there. So they're actually live streaming the proceedings right now in another room.
That's right. I want to go over a brief timeline of this case. January 27th, 2020. That's when Gannon was reported missing as a runaway. 3 days later, case upgraded from runaway to endangered missing child. And then 4 days after he was reported missing, Letitia Stauch, she broke her silence, spoke to 11 News exclusively. And we've got the 9-minute interview up on our website, kktv.com. But exactly 3 years after Gannon's body was found in Florida, jury selection for this trial began March 20th, 2023.
Now you see everyone rising there. The jury is coming into the courtroom right now, and we want to go live and listen in. Let's listen in now.
Thank you. You may all be seated. Court will recall 20 CR 1358, People versus Letitia Stauch. Record should reflect the jury has returned to the courtroom. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I see that juror number 5, that would be you, has all the instructions and things like that. That's usually a tip-off to me that you might be the foreperson. Are you, in fact, the foreperson? And has the jury reached verdicts in this case? Yes, sir. All right. If you would hand the instructions and the verdict forms to Mr. Sproul, please. Thank you. All right, the verdict forms do appear to be in proper order. I will have a question for you because there's some extra writing on here, but I think I understand what's going on. So with respect to count number 1, charge of murder in the first degree after deliberation, we, the jury, find the defendant Letitia Stauch guilty of count number 1, murder in the first degree after deliberation. With respect to count number 2, charge of murder in the first degree, child under 12 by a person in a position of trust. We, the jury, find the defendant Letitia Stauch guilty of count number 2, murder in the first degree, child under 12, position of trust. With respect to count number 3, charge of tampering with a deceased human body. We, the jury, find the defendant Letitia Stauch guilty of count number 3, tampering with a deceased human body. With respect to count number 4, charge of tampering with physical evidence, we, the jury, find the defendant Letitia Stauch guilty of count number 4, tampering with physical evidence. I wanted to ask the jury, or actually the foreperson, there is some extra writing on here with respect to question number 1. There's a cross through and some initials. And then on part B, there's also a cross through with initials. Was that signifying that you were not answering that and you intended to answer guilty as to that charge?
Yes, sir.
All right. And is that what you intended with all of the other verdict forms?
Yes, sir.
All right. With that, does either side wish to have the jury poll the prosecution?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what this means is that this is a process that is sometimes requested by the attorneys following a verdict to make sure that everybody has agreed on all parts of it. So I'll go down the row, starting in the back. Juror number 1, is this and are these your verdicts? Juror number 2, is this and are these your verdicts? Juror number 3, is this and are these your verdicts? Juror number 4, is this and are these your verdicts? Juror number 5, is this and are these your verdicts? Juror number 6, is this and are these your verdicts? Juror number 7, is this and are these your verdicts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 8, is this and are these your verdicts?
Yes,
Juror number 9, is this and are these your verdicts? Juror number 10, is this and are these your verdicts? Juror number 11, is this and are these your verdicts? Juror number 12, is this and are these your verdicts?
Your Honor.
I want to thank all of you for your service. Jurors don't get a lot of training. However, you all were selected because you were willing to be open-minded and impartial, and were willing to make decisions based on the facts and the law. You, the jury, heard and saw the evidence. You paid attention all day, every day. Someone else may tell you they disagree with your verdict or some aspect of your service. They may want to express their opinion on the matter. However, we didn't ask them for any of their opinions. We asked you for your judgment. We asked you for your verdict based on the law and based on the evidence. Someone else may tell you they think they're better and smarter and more intuitive than all of you were. Ignore them. As a judge, rarely does a day go by that I don't make somebody in the courtroom mad. The fact that some people may disagree with your verdict or the law only means that those who disagree with you were not carefully selected to be fair and impartial. They did not take an oath to follow the law and to judge all of the facts, and they see it differently from you because they didn't see it all from the perspective you did. And they did not discuss the facts with 11 others who were also fair and impartial and sworn to follow the law. You decided this case. This verdict is your verdict. And this is the verdict in the case. No poll, no approval or disapproval, and no press analysis changes that fact. This is the verdict in the case. The press or someone else at some point may wish to talk to you. We live in a world of exceptional voyeurism in reality TV, and this is about as real as it gets. They may try to dissect the evidence, your thought process, and your decision. It's a free country. Anyone can ask you anything about your verdict. You can answer if you choose. They can also, however, respect your privacy and allow you to contact them only if you want to talk to them. And if you don't want to, you don't have to talk to anyone about your verdict. If you do talk with someone, you can tell them as little or as much as you like. Someone may even ask you to give an affidavit regarding some aspect of your jury service. You're free to give an affidavit. You're free to decline to give an affidavit. That is a personal decision you are entitled to make. If anyone continues to talk to you after you have told them you do not want to speak about the matter or becomes critical of you or your jury service, please report that incident to me. Again, I want to thank you very much for your service. Without honest people of our community serving on jurors, we cannot secure the right to a jury trial in this country. And it's a very valuable and a very important right. I want to leave you with some language from a case that was decided by the United States Supreme Court in Louisiana versus Duncan. In that case, an individual was denied the right to a jury by trial, or a trial by jury, sorry. And that case went all the way up to the United States Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court sent it back to the state of Louisiana. And it said, you need to give this man what the Constitution requires, which is a trial by jury. And when it sent the case back to Louisiana. It said, "We believe that trial by jury is fundamental to the American scheme of justice. Trial by jury is more than an instrument of justice and more than one wheel of the Constitution. It is the lamp that shows that freedom lives. Without your dedication and sacrifice, that lamp would not shine as brightly as it does. So I truly thank you for your service. You are now discharged with the thanks of the court. And for the last time, all rise for the jury, please." Thank you. You may all be seated. I don't know how you want to proceed on sentencing. I do need to talk to the jury for a few minutes because I need to tell them some things about security issues, counseling issues, and things like that. So I do need to talk with them for a few minutes. I also didn't know if the family, the prosecution, anybody wanted to have some time to process the verdicts. I also understand that everybody's been here for 5 weeks, so I get that part too. So I'm open to whatever you want to do with respect to sentencing, but I probably am going to need at least a half an hour with the jury.
I think that would be appropriate, Judge. The people are obviously ready to go to immediate sentencing. I believe defenses as well. And,
Okay.
and I can tell you that the family's been thinking about this day for over 3 years. They're ready to go to sentencing as well.
Okay, then give me about 30 minutes and we will come back and proceed to sentencing at that point in time.
All rise.
Letitia Stauch found guilty of 4 counts, including first-degree murder of 11-year-old Gannon, her stepson.
Just heard, if you weren't watching, the judge requested 30 minutes before going to sentencing. That first-degree murder charge, that comes with an automatic life in prison sentence. She had pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity.
Right, found guilty of first-degree murder. She was also found guilty of murdering a child under 12 in the position of trust. Count 3, tampering with a deceased human body, found guilty, and tampering of physical evidence. She was also found guilty of that. Now, we do know, like Tony said, if she is, since she has been found guilty, she'll likely face life in prison. Here in Colorado, we do not have the death penalty. Some people have been asking online. And immediate sentencing, what that means, in a lot of cases, they'll wait weeks or months to come back into the courtroom, and then they'll decide how long that person will spend time in jail or prison. In this case, we're expecting family may speak, and they kind of give an impact statement on how long, how this has impacted their family. So we're not sure. We expect the family could speak from what we just heard from the DA's office, and at that point, then the judge would sentence her.
That's absolutely right. And the DA's office had mentioned they plan on holding a news conference about 3 o'clock. That may be pushed out because the sentencing now, we're waiting 30 minutes. And I do have to say, people from around the world are watching on our website, our Facebook page right now. I'm seeing a lot of the same. Blue hearts. We heard from family and friends that blue was Gannon's favorite color, along with justice for Gannon.
Do we have a live picture from outside the courthouse before we leave you here for a moment? Okay, we don't, but there have just been dozens of people who have been showing up to the courthouse. We know a lot of you care about this. We're going to be staying on top of this for you, and we'll be sure to let you know what that sentence is. That does it for us, for our breaking news leader. We will see you back here later on this afternoon. Thanks so much.